What's up, family? It's your girl. I'm back. And I'm better. Well, now what did Shakari say? Shakari said, I'm not back, I'm better. Hello. It's I. I'm trying to figure out the lighting situation here, y'all. Because I tell you what, I have not gotten this down. I don't know if that's going to work either. Whatever. Let me say hi to everybody in the chat. What's going on with everybody? Thank you, Alan. What's up? What's up, Tavares? What's going on, Pam? Monte Carlo. That's how I'm gonna have to go with that. Lanai is in the building. Unbox LA is in the building. Arlie, Jeremy, Antoine. Young lady, you're too much. I am too though. Eugene, Shark, Tribal, Shiloh, seeing some new people and some old people. What's going on, everybody? It's your girl, Samantha Lee, and I'm here. We're going to talk about some things that, you know, we game changers in the building, right? We all game changers here. You know, so we're going to be here talking about things that change the game. Okay? All right, guys. So what's lighting is fine, y'all. Y'all know I've been struggling with this lighting. No, does that look good to y'all? If I turn off the light. Turn off the lights. And light a candle. Okay. Look. Does this look better to you guys? This looks better? Okay, we're going to rock with it. Pam, what you think? This one look better? Y'all, I might have to throw out this t-shirt. Turn off the light. And light a candle. Thank you, Deanna. I appreciate you. You know what, Deanna? Reason why I think you think it looks good with the light. Light was better before. Okay, let's see. Light on. I'm just, y'all. We gonna make it rock. We gonna rock and roll in this thing. But yes, I don't really like it this bright though. I don't think I have no red light, y'all. I don't know what. Oh. Anyway, it's besides the point. Nonetheless, what's up, family? Your girl missed you, man. I missed y'all. It's been too dark, leave on. Too dark off, leave on. Okay. It's whatever. We're gonna keep rocking and rolling. Anyway, guys, it's great to see everybody. What's going on? I'm excited to be back. I missed you guys. I missed y'all, man. I really did. And so tonight we're gonna have a good conversation. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna talk about some things that I think that need to be discussed. Okay. And I can't discuss what we need to be discussed unless I play this clip. All right. So we're gonna play the clip. We gonna play the clip while Sam. Video file.
Feel like women are seriously ready for emotionally and
so I'm gonna put this all the way back. We gonna talk about this. And you know what, Mojo, you bring up a really good point. So I know there's people that reach out to my team and stuff like that, and I appreciate that. I appreciate all the support that you guys give me. But you guys, the reality of it all is that it should be from a free and clear space. Meaning that if you are supporting me on some level, I would hope that it comes from a place of genuine and not like, oh, I'm supporting you and the expectation is I get connection to Samantha. Samantha's got to call me. Samantha's got to text me. Samantha's got to go on a date. Like, no, I'm sorry. That's not That's not what that is. It's if you're supporting, you're supporting. And that's what people do. People on here support. And so at the end of the day, I appreciate all the support and I love you guys and I show you all the love. I put a lot of work into this channel. But that doesn't necessarily mean, you know, you automatically get access, you know, to me. So that's just what it really is, you know, and that's what all these channels is just what it is. You know, if you support, okay, cool. I'm really excited about that, but I'm really appreciative of that. But that doesn't mean, you know, we gonna sleep together because you support me. You know what I'm saying? You can like the video, whatever, but that doesn't mean you gon', you know, that's what goes next. You know what I'm saying? So that's just all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Anywho, this is a clip, y'all, that went viral on the YouTube space. We talked about this, and I think it did really very well. And so that's why we're going to talk about it tonight, because there's a lot of different things that we need to talk about with emotional intelligence. We need to talk about if women can really handle the men that they are asking for. And furthermore, what is emotional intelligence? So we're going to get into it. Let's go.
Do you ladies feel like women are seriously ready for emotionally intelligent men?
Kitty, what do you think? Okay, let's talk about what emotional intelligence comes with before we even get into this conversation, okay? We're talking about you wanting a man who is tolerant, who regulates his emotions, who also knows how to manage your emotions. But you're also talking about a man who knows how to navigate his sensitivities and everything else when it comes to that. But you have to consider that an emotionally intelligent man is good at cutting people off when he sees that your sensitivities bring too much reactivity. When he sees that you cannot regulate your emotions. When he sees that you have a low tolerance. This type of man that you are asking for is a man who will walk you out the door in a heartbeat if he feels like you are disrupting his peace. If he feels like there's any level of disrespect, because there's a lot that comes with emotional intelligence. So if you asking for that, you got to come with the same level of emotional intelligence as well. Okay? That comes with a number of factors. So if you are a woman who knows that even though you may be sensitive to certain things like criticism, rejection, because you're not always going to be accepted. Sometimes he's going to bounce back. And sometimes he's going to say, I don't agree with your opinion. Sometimes he's going to say, I don't like those thoughts. Sometimes he's going to say, I don't like the way you speak to me. If you're not ready for that, don't be asking for an intelligent man.
All right, y'all. So, you know, she kind of went in now. That's my girl, Kitty. I love tonight's conversation, of course. Tonight's conversation was something that you know, this is like last year, I filmed a season with them, and I enjoyed all that I did with them. It was fun. It was a lot of fun being in that environment, filming with a bunch of other people on the internet. It was dope. But she's basically saying, Kitty, look, don't be asking for an emotionally intelligent man if you are unwilling and unable to deal with what comes with that type of guy. And I think that that's very good, because I think a lot of people don't understand what emotional intelligence is. We asking for a person, we don't even know what that looks like. All right. What's up, Hillary? I see you. So emotional intelligence, based on the Oxford Language Dictionary, says this: the capacity to be aware of, control, and express one's emotions, and to handle interpersonal relationships judiciously and empathetically. Emotional intelligence. Okay, so I'm going to read that back. Let's run it back to the bottom of the map. Is the capacity to be aware of. It's the capacity to be in control of. Woo! Woo! To be aware of. To be in control of. To express one's emotions. And to handle interpersonal relationships judiciously and empathetically. What does judiciously mean? I'm glad you asked. Let's go into it. Judiciously. With good judgment or sense. So it said not only to be aware of, to be in control of, and to express one's emotions judiciously and empathetically. Huh. How many people do you know have emotional intelligence? I think a lot of people think that because they're talking about their emotions and they're able to say, I'm mad, I'm sad, I feel this way, I feel that way, I feel this way, I feel, they did this, they did that. But because they're talking about their emotions, they think that means that I'm emotionally intelligent. No. Even a toddler can identify being sad. Even a toddler can say, he hit me or she took my toy. That is childlike in your capacity to identify emotions. When we're talking about emotional intelligence, it's not only I can identify, it's not only that I'm in control of, it's also that I'm able to handle them judiciously. What does that mean, Sam? That means with good sense and judgment and empathetically. What does empathetically mean? I'll give that to you as well. Hold on, y'all. Let me give y'all the, y'all may not like my definition, so I'm gonna give you the exact definition. It means to understand somebody's emotions in a way that shows an ability to understand and share the feelings of another. A lot of us say that we are emotionally intelligent because we are able to only do one step of that process, which is identify our emotions. Most people today, they do not have control over their emotions. Their emotions have control over them. We're talking about men and women. All right, let's start there. Emotions be running the show. I feel this way, I react. I feel, I react. I feel, I react. That's not emotional intelligence. Children do that. Emotional intelligence is that I can identify, but I still have control over me. I still have control over what I'm doing. I'm not just acting out of impulse and reacting to whatever I feel. Okay. And then on the last part of that is to act judiciously and empathetically, meaning that I not only do things, but because of my emotions, I don't handle them with good. I handle them with good sense, right? I am thinking about other people as I do this. I am thinking about how my emotions and how my reactions is going to hurt or not hurt other people involved. Meaning that most people today that say that they want emotionally intelligent people are not emotionally intelligent themselves and therefore would not be able to handle an emotionally intelligent person. Women want a man. Oh, I want a man who's emotionally intelligent. Okay, what does that mean, sis? That he knows when to apologize? He knows when to say sorry? Or he knows when to listen? Or knows when to do certain things? I think that what we want is what we want in that moment, what is convenient to that. But like I said, a lot of men say that because they can talk about their feelings, that makes them emotionally intelligent. No. That means you can identify your feelings. That does not make you emotionally intelligent. Being able to control, have discipline, have some control over yourself. Your emotions aren't running you all over the place, doing things that you later regret. or hurting people that you shouldn't be hurting. Thinking in good sense to not only yourself, but to the people that it affects. That's emotional intelligence. And I will honestly say, I don't see a whole lot of women conducting themselves in this manner. I also haven't seen a whole lot of men conducting themselves in this manner, at least in not popular culture, right? Not in social media culture. Unfortunately, when a man has emotional intelligence, he's shunned. When a man has emotional intelligence, he's thinking about not only the perceptions of himself, but also the perceptions of other women, and thinking that way. He's shunned. He's shunned. You know, when he can empathize with other thought processes, he's shunned. Right? What's hot is not being emotionally intelligent. That's what's hot right now. Having no control over your emotions, reacting completely off of how you feel, and either, you know, blasting someone on social media. Wow, that's mature. Posting subliminals. Ooh, you got them there. Woo! That's not emotional intelligence. Ladies, be quick to put up a meme real quick. Put up a meme. They mad. A woman's mad at a man. If they see a quote that says something about their zodiac or something about, well, you shouldn't play with us, blah, 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 because this is how we act. Girl, bye. That ain't no daggone emotional intelligence. That's a lot. You still acted in your emotion. Making wise decisions, even though your feelings are hurt. Listen, y'all, when we face with a situation and you're able to say, hey, listen, I'm not going to react that way because it'll be too damaging. I feel like this. I want to do this, but I'm going to make a decision that is calculated because I got a future, because I have things riding on me, and I'm not going to allow my feelings in this moment to cause me to do or say something that may compromise something in my future. That is emotionally intelligent. And let me tell you something, y'all. There's less people emotionally intelligent than not. We'll be keeping it 100. A lot of people are like, oh, you know, our world is encouraging us to react in ways that are impulsive, that will make you feel strong in the moment, that gives you the feeling of control. But in reality, it's no control. It's no control at all. That's the reality of it. That we live in a world that popularizes toxic behavior and wonders why it feels like the world's going to HE double hockey sticks in a handbasket. Oh, I know. Just look at what's popular. What's popular? Shade Room. Shade Room's popular. That's not making anything. That's not, I mean, it's doing its job. You can't even be mad at that. It's doing its job. But it's making toxic behavior, shady, gossipy, I don't even know, messy things popular. It didn't even make those things popular. Honestly, we made it popular because we follow it. We follow the blogs. We follow all these different things. That's what we do. We made that popular. We made it popular. So, just see. Well, I appreciate your comment, Sean. I appreciate your comment. Thank you for your perspective and opinion. And obviously wish you well. I think, Hillary, in my opinion, that emotional intelligence is something that happens over time. So this is not something you're born with. This is something that you have to develop. You've got to take the time and maybe in front of a therapist or taking classes or read books or, moral compass, spirituality. At the end of the day, the time that we put into those things is what creates emotional intelligence within us. Those things don't happen when we're born. And we can choose to avoid the process of emotional intelligence. But part of emotional intelligence, honestly, y'all, is accountability. You can't have one without the other. How can I really, truly consider someone else's feelings if I don't have an understanding of myself and I'm not willing to own things about myself? I can't own me or own all that I've done, the mistakes I've made, anything like that, if I don't take the time to really own it. Own that you've made a mistake. Own that you're not perfect and there's things that you could have done better. And I can't have empathy for another person if I don't take accountability for me. Can't say, oh, I feel bad for that person, No, you're more likely to blame other people than to have empathy for them if you lack accountability. Let's just keep it 100. You're more likely to blame everything that's happened to you, everything in the situation. You're more likely to do those things as someone who does not take accountability for themselves. Someone who takes accountability for themselves, able to say, you know what, I understand what that person is going through. I understand what that person is going through. Y'all, I'm sorry, y'all. I saw my image in that daggone. I saw my image in this painting right here, y'all. And I promise you, I thought it was somebody in my house. I promise you, your girl was about to get to swinging. It was, I literally, that is what just happened. I'm sorry, y'all. That's just what happened. Ooh, focus. Boom. I'm back. I'm sorry, y'all. I was like, what? Woo! Anyway. Oh, I got a super sticker. Sorry. Thank you. Thank you, Pam. Thank you, Pam. Hold on. Let me remove this from studio. Maybe I'll have a better view of everything that's going on. I can't see everything, unfortunately, y'all, and I apologize for that. It's not letting me. Oh, no dose hit. Thank you for the $20 super sticker again. Thank you guys for supporting the show in general. I do appreciate the feedback, positive, negative, whatever. But it takes a lot of time to come on here. It's not easy. It's not easy to create content. In fact, I had somebody call me today and they're like, did you do 940 pieces of content this year? Yeah. That's not easy. That doesn't happen overnight. And so I do appreciate the support. I work very, very hard. And so thank you. Thank you, no dose hit. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me. Back over here, you guys. Here we go. Oh, righty. Oh, they did. Okay. Calvin, I disagree. I think that I think every person should be held accountable. I think by you saying that a woman, his comment said the only one who can take accountability for you is your husband. He is responsible under his authority over you in the eyes of Ayah, Shalom. Of course, as a spiritual belief, so your spiritual belief system is different than mine. My spiritual belief system is that we all are held accountable for our actions. And at the end of this life, that is what we have to answer for ourselves. And so I believe everybody should be taking accountability. And I think accountability is a very important part of emotional intelligence, because otherwise, how can you be empathic to other people? How can you possibly have control over your emotions, be aware of your emotions, and then handle your emotions judiciously and empathetically if you're unable to take accountability? That's just my argument. I think a lot of people are not willing to take accountability. So anyway, thank you, No Dose Hits, Samantha. Thank you for being you and being open, helping me open my mind to so many ways, and thinking you're a blessing and the great and enlightening. Thank you, Deanna. I appreciate you, sis, and I appreciate women that are like owning. It's not only about just. I feel like there's a sense of security in women when you're able to look at another woman and say she bad, or I respect you, or you're beautiful, or this and the third. Like, there's a sense of security that comes with that. I think there's women that will try to find something wrong with you because they lack emotional intelligence, and they want to poke holes in you or poke holes in things that you do or the way that you look because of their own insecurities. Period. And so I think it's beautiful to see a woman who's like, listen, I think you're dope. I think you're this. I think you're that. And I think that's really, really, really dope. And so that is that. So yes, guys, we've talked about we're talking about emotional intelligence tonight, and I want to get into certain questions. Now, I've given you my perspective on what I think she was saying in this particular clip, but I want to ask the people in the room. Men, do you feel that women today, most women, I'm saying most women that you run into, are emotionally intelligent? I want to put you a 1 in the chat if you say yes, a 2 in the chat if you say no. Most women, if you feel like the women that you have encountered, are most of those women emotionally intelligent, based upon the definition that I provided today, which is I can identify my emotions, meaning I can express them, or I can identify them like, no, yes, I'm sad, I'm happy. Number 2, I have control over them. And number 3, I can express them judiciously and empathetically. So those are the 3 ways that emotional intelligence plays out. I know I need to put that in bold, don't I? Emotional intelligence is 3 of them, right? Can we put the 2 in bold? Tribal, you being look, Tribal out here being messy. Tribal out here being messy. There is such a thing as Rev. Sorry, I disagree. There's such a thing as emotionally intelligent. I don't see how you could be intelligent in all other facets but emotions. I disagree. I definitely agree that there's emotional intelligence. I also think that there's not a lot of people who are emotionally intelligent, but that's fine. We can agree to disagree. I'm seeing some 2s in the chat. Steve says yes. Are you saying most women don't have no life? I don't agree with that, Monte Carlo. He said most of them have no life. Women are getting good at it. Ruru says most people aren't emotionally intelligent. Pam says blood and love, or blood and no life. William, I'm gonna stop. I am like literally gonna stop reading your comments because you don't be on topic at all, sir. I mean, for real. William just having conversation. William ain't talking about nothing we talking about at any given point. Come on, William. He over here talking about the blood of the lamb. He talking about the blood of the lamb. And we talking about emotional intelligence. But it's all good, William. We love you. You should tune into every show, so I'm gonna stop. But I really read your comment thinking that you was gonna give me something. Oh, lovely one. You know what, y'all? That just made me think of a song. Oh, what's the song? Oh my goodness, is that Michael Jackson? You are my lovely one, lovely one, lovely one, oh lovely one. Y'all don't cry, y'all. I'm sorry. I was looking at the comments and I'm like, what is he saying? But anyway, it looked like most people said that most women are not emotionally intelligent. That's what it said in the chat. Again, you guys, we are going to clarify, and I'm actually gonna put it on the bottom. We're gonna brand this thing. I'm gonna try to write it out in the brand or the banner. And so I am going to edit this one. And emotional intelligence. I'm gonna write this thing out for y'all because I think this is important. Emotional intelligence is, as we discussed it in this thing, because we're gonna take people to class today when they come back or see this on the replay to identify, express, right? Oh no, I have control over and express emotions judiciously and empathetically. Save that. We're going, okay. So this is emotional intelligence, y'all. That is what we saw. Oh, I feel like I'm taking y'all to class today. Aha! Yeah. Okay. What's up, baby? Sam got a brand and a banner. What's going on? I'm excited about this. This is what emotional intelligence is, y'all. So now that we have the definition down, let's talk about if men are emotionally intelligent today. If you would say, we just covered that we think that in the chat, based upon our conversation, that most women, from y'all's opinion, does not have emotional intelligence. Now I'm asking the women in the chat, do you or have you encountered men having emotional intelligence? Would you say that most men today are emotionally intelligent? I want to see some ones in the chat for yes, and I want to see some no's in the chat for no. I see Lyrica's in the house. Lyrica, it's been a while, hasn't it? I haven't seen you in a minute, sis. You think that y'all are tribal? You think that y'all are getting there at a faster rate? Pam says they acted on impulse left and right. How do I do a poll? That's a great question. I want to do a poll. How do I do that? Y'all, I need to figure that out. Can someone do a poll? I don't know how to do a poll. I'll be honest with you. That's something I got to figure out, y'all. I don't know. Can I do? No, I don't know how to do a poll, y'all. Dang, shot it. I don't know. Your girl can't do a poll. That's why I be doing this in a thing. I'm going to figure it out by the next time. But anyway, long story short. No, I'm probably going to just, I had another question, EKNL, that I was going to do that. Can someone really be emotionally intelligent without surrendering some of their emotions? It's a great question, the Crabman 71. He said, can someone really be emotionally intelligent without surrendering some of their emotions? Now, I would ask you this, the Crabman 71. What do you mean by surrendering? What do you mean by surrendering? I really want to understand that. Because I think tonight, you guys, my biggest point that I want to drive home is that we all are saying that we want certain things. I think we all say we want certain aspects of people. But there's a couple issues with that. Because number one, if we say that we want an emotionally intelligent guy and we are not emotionally intelligent, we're going to push that emotionally intelligent man away. That's what Kitty brought up in her response. I also think that if you are not that, then you're not going to attract that. I think that we spend a lot of time saying what we desire, what we want. We want this, we want that, all these characteristics. We can label them out. We have a list of 1 to 10 things that we want that person to look like and what they want, what we want them to say, to do, whatever. And I think a lot of the list, to be honest with you today, is a lot of BS, because I see a lot of people that I've met with lists, namely women. I'm not going to say men, because the men that I know that have a list or are extremely picky, they have their pick of the litter. Let's be real. But women that have a list of 10 to 15 items, they aren't the items that they have listed. And then when they do end up being in a relationship with a guy, that guy ain't got nothing to do with their list. Be like, I need him to be tall, handsome. He got to make this amount of money. He got to do this. He got to do that. They got the whole list. And let me tell you something. Y'all, ain't no part of that, their man, when she bring that man to that party and we all meet him, he ain't got nothing to do with her list. Nothing to do with it. Not at all. There are guys that I've met that be like, dang, I get the baddest of the bad, y'all. I get the baddest of the bad. I'm getting dimes. I'm getting shmoney, baby. I'm getting 10s on 10s on 10s. What we talking about? We got men to be like, look, I be getting all the bad chicks. I be getting dimes on dimes. Check my pedigree. Don't be disrespectful. You better see what it is. But the women you end up with ain't dimes. Not one of them. Not one piece of them are dimes. Y'all, and now I don't see no comments. What's going on? Oh. Not one piece of them. Ah! It makes me chuckle. It really does make me chuckle. So I say all that to say that a lot of us are saying we want things that we really don't want, can't handle. It doesn't end up panning out that way, whatever that may be. So I think it's very important for us, as we're going to talk about in tomorrow's conversation, of defining and deciding what is actually important. Because a lot of what I wrote a list down for myself recently of the kind of man that I want to manifest into my life. I'm be honest with you. I wrote them down. I wrote 10 things of a man that I want to manifest in my spirit, in my life that I'm looking for. Right. And I had to say to myself at some point, I also had to surrender to God. Like, listen, God, I want this, but I may not be able to handle this. So you bring me what you think I need, because I'm short-sighted. This is what I think I need right now. But you ultimately know what's best for me. You know the plans that you have for me. Plans not to harm me, but to give me hope in the future. So I've surrendered. This is what I think I want, but Lord, ultimately have your way. Because what I think I want, listen, I've chosen for myself for a long time, y'all, and I've been wrong. Which is why I'm doing this right now. This is the whole point of this live. There's a lot of us think that we know what we want. A lot of us, in fact, limit ourselves from the men that we should be with because we are so convinced and consumed with the men we think we should be with. For example, your husband may not be a guy that's, I don't know. I'm trying to think of something that's a superficial characteristic that really don't matter at the end. He might not be tall. Let's just say that. Let's say he's short. Oh, well. So you're going to pass up. There's women that will, y'all, and it bothers me. You will pass up a good man because he's short? I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all haven't been through enough. Y'all haven't been through enough. If you count out people because they're short. Yeah, I saw a live, and I'm gonna watch this episode where a woman married a man who was 47 years older than her. I'm sure when she was in high school, thinking about what kind of man she was gonna marry, I know for a fact she wasn't saying she was going to marry at 40 years old. She was going to marry a 91-year-old man. I know that's not what she said. Latera's girl, it was a 43-year-old woman with a 91-year-old man. Not 81, 91. That's what I'm talking about. Now, am I saying that is something I would do? No, I'm not saying that. Because to me, I'll be honest with you, it hasn't happened. I don't know if it will happen. Maybe my future spouse is much older than me, whatever. Y'all, yes, 91, 47 years older than she is. Shout out to dear future wifey. Y'all want to go ahead and watch that episode? Y'all need to see that after this one. No, Hillary, he looks 91. He doesn't look 91, but he look like he's strong in his 80s. Strong. In my opinion, I'm not 43, so I can't speak to that. But I'm sorry. No. I got to be attracted to you. I cannot. There's women that can fake the funk. I get it. Or you can fall in love with other aspects of this man. Cool. But to me, I got to be attracted to you. But I've learned that being attracted to someone, because I can meet somebody who is my 100% type. I've met men that are my 100% physical type. Those men were not what was best for me. Let's just say that. They were not. Okay? They were not. And yeah, that's just all I got to say. They were not what was best for me. So now it's me saying, God, I surrender my list. Because I may tell y'all I'm emotionally intelligent, and y'all, to be honest with you, I've got some work to do. Would I say I have more emotional intelligence than most? Yes, I've had a therapist for years. I've done a lot of self-work on myself. But am I 100% there? No. I still got work to do. I still have work to do in my therapy. I've still got work to do in growing and learning and just there's a lot more I got to do. So in that being said, when I see women saying, "Oh, can we handle the man that we actually say that we want?" The first thing that you have to think about is, am I what I'm asking for? Am I actually the characteristics that I'm looking for? Am I creme de la creme too? Am I looking for creme de la creme? Am I creme de la creme? And you'll know if you're creme de la creme. There'll be, you'll have that understanding in life that whether you are or whether you're not, we can pretend in front of people and act like with ego, oh, we creme de la creme, we creme de la creme. Okay, but we'll find out if you creme de la creme. We'll see. But the reality is when we start to limit ourselves from the people that actually may be the people that speak our language. You might be saying, I want an emotionally intelligent man. Okay, but you're not an emotionally intelligent woman. So you actually don't need an emotionally intelligent man. What you need is a man who's on your level. And if you are on level 1, because we talked about there's 3 different levels to emotional intelligence. If you are on level 1, you need to find somebody else who's on level 1. Or, well, no, you might need to find somebody who's a little bit more emotionally intelligent than you. That way you're able to kind of like ride the fences and get to the level that you need to get to. But I do think that what we say that we want and the men that we desire, when we just pigeonhole ourselves in that this is all that's out there, this is all that I want, this is all that I'm looking for, we miss out on the man that might be right for us. Right? And that's my whole point. Now, Sean said I could have gotten here a little bit more succinctly. And I can agree with you, Sean, on that. I'm not feeling the best today, but you got a point. I could have had an outline. I could have. But I didn't. I had a direction, didn't have an outline. So for me, on this leg of my journey in life and the things that I'm learning, and in my singleness, in my alone time, in my really just trying to understand what is for me, what's not, and becoming extremely picky, as I may say as so myself. I'm very picky at this point. I've just learned that there are things that I want and I desire that I think is good for me that may not be. And that if I've been wrong before, I can be wrong again. And so I am doing this and I'm talking about this because I feel as though we all have a bunch of dates and times and ages and all these benchmarks that we have, these perfect time frames, these perfect amount in the savings and the checking, the different things that we hold on to. For me, like my weight, like I hold on to, I want to be the perfect weight. I want to be the perfect, size and all the, I want my whatever, I don't know, like different career goals I have for myself, just different things I can hold on to. There's a lot of things that in my life has happened that has caused me to say, okay, I think it's time for you to surrender. I think it's time for you to surrender all of it and truly trust God and acknowledge God in all aspects of your decision making because you haven't made the best decisions. And so, yes, I have a list. I do desire certain things. And discernment over time has helped me to weed out people quicker than not. There's just certain things that if I see something, hear something, I've gotten a little bit more picky about that. Like I see you and listen, y'all, I don't judge people off of what others say about them. I don't do that because people can say anything in this world. Let's just start there. I judge people off of how they present themselves. That to me is more telling than anything else. How do you represent you? Because other people, I can't, like, I used to work in defects, y'all, and we would get calls all the time, from people accusing people of things, accusing this, that, and the third. Some of it was real, some of it wasn't. But what I learned is that you can accuse anybody of anything. No evidence, no nothing. It wasn't until we got involved and interviewed and had to talk to teachers and whatever we had to do in those circumstances. It wasn't until we got through that we could either weed out what was real or what's not. Unfortunately, with social media culture, you don't have that same integrity in journalism. Let's just say that. People say whatever, do whatever, and there's little to no consequences. However, I really do pay attention to how someone represents themselves. Because what you post, what you talk about, what you put in your story, all these different things, it's telling. It's telling to me of like what you're into. And I've seen things with people, with people that, maybe women would love to date this guy, and he's pursuing me, and I see that he represents himself in a way that makes me feel like, nah, we're not like-minded. You're not holding yourself accountable to God. I can tell that. You might be for somebody else, but you're not for me. Or you don't have a God compass at all when we have discussions. And y'all, I've realized over time how important that is for me. I've also learned like people having a story. I always like a story, y'all. I'm always like big on stories, want to know somebody's story. Why? Because I done been through some things. And I want to be with somebody who done been through some things too. They understands grit and struggle and getting it out the mud. Like, somebody that's not rough, a little rough around the edges like me. They don't, listen, y'all, Sam ain't really that. I'm gonna rough around the edges. I am. And I'm not into certain things. I'm not into fashion. I'm not into all this other stuff. I'm just not. But I just think that as I've grown and as I've learned about myself, I've learned more about me that I didn't know. So the more I know, it's like I feel like I'm learning more as I'm learning more. It's like I learn a little bit more. I'm like, dang, I didn't know that about me, and I learn a little bit more. And it's like opening up this well of like, wow, you have a lot of work to do. And that's why I came on here to talk about this. Because even me, like going through grad school, coming out, I thought I had it all figured out. I thought I knew exactly what I was going to do and what my life was going to look like. I had no idea what my life was going to look like. I had no idea what was best for me. I had no idea. Which is why at this point in my life, I'm surrendered. I'm like, you know what? Have your way. Have your way, God. I didn't see my life going this way. Have your way. And that's where I'm at. So when we have a conversation about emotional intelligence, I think a part of emotional intelligence for me is understanding that A, I have a lot of work to do, but B, there's more about me that I have yet to know. So I can't 100% say what is best for me. I have to trust my creator. I have to trust my God to do that for me. So yes, I'll write down my list, and yes, I'll write down what I want. But I surrender that list to my creator and say, listen, God, you show me who it is. And it's become less and less about looks. Let's just say that. It's become less and less about looks and whatever, all that superficial stuff. It's become more and more and more about character. Because as you grow and as you become, you start to realize how important it is for someone's character to be right, for someone's moral compass to be right, for someone's decision-making capacity to be right, for them to truly be emotionally intelligent. That when you ride the storms of life, that they're able to conceptualize, they're able to control themselves, they're able to express themselves in a way that is productive, that is empathic, that is judicious. That is what I am looking for at this point. And I've met women, listen, women that have been with men that helped build something with the man that they're with. Like he might not have been all of that when she met him, but now he all of that. I've seen that, and I actually think that that's a really beautiful thing to do. But nowadays, we want a finished product when we're not a finished product. Nowadays, we want a dude who's in shape when we're not in shape. Nowadays, we want a dude who's a millionaire who's not a millionaire. We're not millionaires. Nowadays, we want men to pay deposits to go on dates with us. Now we want dudes to abide by a list of where not to take us on the date. Who do you think you are? You ain't no finished product. Shoot, none of us are. And to get caught up in these superficial, to be honest, BS, it's crazy to me. That's why we have superficial relationships. People unwilling to take accountability for their actions. People who all they do is spend their time blaming other people for their mistakes and their actions. Instead of just saying, you know what? I'm imperfect. I've made bad decisions. Maybe the way that I'm choosing men and maybe the criteria I have for men, I shouldn't have. I don't think that you shouldn't have a standard at all. Let's be very clear. I think that you should absolutely have standards. I have standards. There's just certain things I'm not going to do. If you think that you take me out on a date on the first, second, or third date and you think I'm just going to sleep with you, that's not you. You don't barked up the wrong tree. I'm not the one. You can find somebody else and decide to do what you want to do. That's just not me. As I said last week before, I feel like we should have standards for who should have access to our bodies. And if that means that you don't call me, talk to me after that, well, then that's okay. I'm cool with that. I can go to sleep being okay with that. You can say, oh, you got a baby. Yeah, I got a baby in a marriage. All right. Okay. So I'm still not going to sleep with you on the first, second, or third date. It's just not going to happen. That whole 3-date thing is wild to me. Just not going to happen. And if that meant that a man felt more comfortable, like I also don't care about going to different things to go eat. Like, I don't care if you take me to Cheesecake Factory. I don't care if you take me to Chili's. I don't care if you take me to Taco Mac. I don't care about things like that. That don't matter to me. If it made a man feel better, I would pay my half. I don't know. If a guy felt that strongly about, oh, well, I'm not paying for dates because you're not sleeping with me, that's probably not a guy I want to date anyway. Because you too pressed, in my opinion. You too pressed. You too pressed for sexual activity for me. You should, that's just how I look at it. Or have a conversation before you decide to go on the date. That's what I think people should be doing, having more effective communication. You should be saying, my expectation is if I pay for this date, you sleeping with me. Like, say that before we even get there. That way she can say, nah. And then y'all can have, you can be like, y'all can have a conversation and she could say, no, I don't want to do that. That's not me. And you could say, okay, well, that's what I'm looking for right now. And then y'all can go y'all separate ways and no one wastes any money. I don't know why we don't just do that. Instead of all these TikToks and all these, about these women talking about dates. In fact, I recently saw some of y'all, I recently saw some on the internet, which was really hilarious. It was a woman who was 40 minutes late to a date. And the guy left, which, here's the thing. I have been super late to dates. And I absolutely think that you should leave. I absolutely think if you, guys and women, if a guy is 40 minutes late or 40, we going over 30, I'm out. I'm not about to sit here and wait for you for 30, 40 minutes. No. And you shouldn't be waiting on me for 30, 40 minutes. That's just disrespectful. Anyway, she went to the restaurant 40 minutes late and he was gone. Then she did a TikTok video. And I said, girl, why you do the TikTok video? You was wrong, sis. It's your first date. Listen, you wrong. You wrong. And I'm saying that as a woman who have done that. Leave me. Have me sitting there looking dumb. Do that. Because it is wrong. It is disrespectful. That's how I look at it. But again, dating is data collection. Dating is not a lot of, I just posted something where the guy was talking about how, and I don't know his name, how dating is more about, we make it more about moments and memories, and really it's about the tough conversations, the ugly situations that come, that's what we should be more about in dating, because marriage should be more about the moments. And a lot of us kind of like use dating as like, oh, it's fun, it's beautiful, it's like, it's happy, blah, 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 blah. And then we get married. And here's the thing. You can't handle hard moments while dating. You should not be handling hard moments while you're married. A lot of people be trying to fix a hard moment by getting married. Absolutely not. Marriage is not the answer. Marriage just amplifies the problem. If you had problems before, you're going to have problems after. And if you don't have an effective way or means of fixing that problem prior to getting married, don't get married. Because it's not going to get better. It gets worse. It just does. Here's the thing, Black Tarantino. I'm not chasing no man for no relationship. That's not going to happen with me. I'm sorry. I don't know what kind of woman you looking for, but it ain't me. I ain't the one. I'm not chasing no man for no relationship. I'm not chasing man, period. I don't know what's going on in the world today where men feel like they need to be chased. I ain't chasing you. You want me, come get me. And if I want you back, I'm going to reciprocate. I'm gonna have the door, I'm gonna have the little, what's it called? The little door, a little screen, cracked a little bit for you. You bust up in there. If I like you, but I ain't finna chase you. I'm sorry, it's just not. I feel like a lot of men expect women to, chase them or whatever, or excuse me, vice versa. I don't think women should be chasing men. I don't think men should be chasing women. I think that there can be disrespect on both sides. I feel like it shouldn't be chasing. It should be we're interested in each other, and that's how we go about it. It should be natural. It should be. I don't feel like no one should be chasing. You know what I'm saying? Like, or you feel like you've got to chase and persuade someone to see the value in you. I don't agree with that. Y'all some lame dudes on here. Sorry. Lame. No offense, y'all, but anyway. I listen, you guys, I will block and rebuke. Okay? I will block and rebuke because I feel like this is a situation where we are trying to be respected and respectful. I think that it's kind of weird and strange for people to come on someone's live, like pursue someone's live off of gossip. I think that's a little, especially a man, to pursue somebody off of gossip. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna like go to your live and talk about gossip. Just not gonna do it. I don't care that much. But if you want to do that, and if you want to be disrespectful, then you leave me no choice but to remove you from my life. Because people, listen, y'all, YouTube is YouTube. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. Not everybody's going to like you, love you, accept you, whatever. And there are people in this space that have decided however they want to feel about me over gossip. And I get it. It plays into the narrative. I totally get it. Not mad at them. I'm praying for them. I pray that they get blessed and get whatever they want by, whatever, utilizing my pictures and all that stuff. If you decide you want to do that, that's fine. But it's gossip. There's no facts that you have to anything because y'all don't even make sense. If y'all really knew what y'all were talking about, you'd actually be mad at yourselves. But at the end of the day, my whole point is to say that if you come on here and you're disrespectful, I'm going to block. It is what it is. And I don't mean that any other way. So back to what we were talking about, because I completely lost my train of thought. It's like weird. Yeah, no. I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, travel, you can. At the end of the day, I think that my whole point and perspective of this live was really to talk about or come at about having standards and the difference between having standards and the difference and then also saying to yourself, okay, I have this list and my list is unreasonable. Like that's the difference between the two. I can say I want an emotionally intelligent man, which is how this started. But if I'm not emotionally intelligent, I'm not going to attract that same energy. Now, on the other side, flip side, reverse, I think that there's a certain level of standards that you do have to have. And I'm not going to chase anybody. I'm not going to try to persuade a man to see my value if you don't, or he shouldn't have to persuade me to see his value. It should be a reciprocal situation. And it should be something that is like, it feels natural. I think a lot of people are trying to make people see them and see their value. I think a lot of women do that now. I say a lot of women, and they say a lot of men do that as well, where you're trying very hard to get someone's attention. And you're not, with you being trying to get someone's attention, you're like not seeing like the person for who they are and what they actually are saying about your value. If you've got to perform and audition and things like that, I think again it should be reciprocal, and you do have to pay attention to what you get. I think a lot of times we say we want certain things in certain men, but if that's not the men that are actually approaching you, or that's not the men that are taking you seriously, then you do have to consider whether or not your own standards and your own list is holding you back from the guy that is for you. So that's that. That's why I think for me, when it comes to certain situations, I'll never judge a man for pursuing me. Never. I think that that's an attractive thing. I do look at when men feel like they need to be pursued, or they need you to reach out to them, or you need to be calling it. No, I'm not doing that. Then they'll hit you with the, oh boy, you didn't call me, you didn't text me, what's up? You don't want to. I know I'm not going to pursue you. I'm not doing that. So that. Mistakes, problem, they all get us to where we want to be and have a great relationship. I agree. If the man, Vaughn says this, and this is real, the man wants you, you will know. I agree with that. I agree with that. I think that if a man really does want you, you will know. I agree with that. Sam, do you feel accountability in oneself before relationship produces wisdom, discernment, and in lieu, emotional intelligence? I think that taking accountability for your actions prior to a relationship will definitely help you in emotional intelligence. Because I think that as you understand yourself more, as you understand the areas of growth that you have, you are more open to somebody else having flaws. You are more open to extending more grace, especially when you want grace to be extended to you. So I think that there is a sense of when you having accountability and how that helps you develop more emotional intelligence. So I think it does help you with emotional intelligence. I think that the wisdom and discernment, in my perspective, comes from counsel, comes from, you know, who you're listening to, other things like that. I don't think that purely just taking accountability for your actions. I think it opens up the door for you to look to wisdom and develop discernment, but I don't think those things in and of itself develop those things. I think that there's other aspects of self that you have to grow, whether that means in having godly counsel, having a therapist, you know, watching certain people online, you know, YouTube or whatever. And I call it YouTube University, or getting a mentor, or whatever that is. That really does help you with, you know, seeking out wisdom and understanding wisdom. I think spirituality as well. If you are someone that is into your walk, I think that also helps with understanding, with producing wisdom and discernment. So that's what I think. But the great question. So if you don't pursue, is there a possibility you may be afraid to get rejected? I know it's just I don't think, as like, it feels wrong for me as a woman to pursue a man. It just doesn't feel right. And maybe it's because of how I was raised. It just does not feel right to me to pursue a man. And I've never had to pursue a man. That's just not something I've had to do. The man, you know, I could say I like this guy and he kind of takes over from there. So I haven't pursued a man like that. I don't think that I don't even like the feeling of it, if I'm being honest with you. I'm not going to like try to convince you to see me. Like, that's just not how I'm going to do it. How often do men approach you about a relationship? Often. But again, it's not about that. It's more about, you know, finding the person that you feel like spiritually aligns with you and has like the core alignment. People can want relationships with you, but are you aligned spiritually? Do you have the same convictions? You know, there's more to it than that. Yeah. I think I agree with that. I think that there's people, Pam is saying that they hold less value for you if you pursue or chase. I personally think that a man will, if you're pursuing him. I don't see how a man could say like, "Oh, I really want her." I think that he would look at that woman like, "You're less than me. Like you don't have any other options." I think I that's what I think. I might be wrong, but I think that men that I know, if I was pursuing them, I think that they would look at me as a lesser value woman. I really do. Okay, Antoine asked me this question. I think it's a good one. Sam, so can emotional intelligence be overanalyzed by the individual? By the individual on the receiving end, or the person that has emotional intelligence? So which side? Can someone who is emotionally intelligent overanalyze? All right. Black Tarantino says, sad thing is men are being afraid of being rejected and get all emotional. Then you wonder why a lot of men don't want to approach women. Okay, that is okay. So you're saying that men aren't approaching women because they're afraid of getting rejected? Why is that like a newer thing? Like, I feel like I understand that women today don't handle certain things maturely, as far as like putting you on live and, trying to out you on social media and all this other stuff. Um, but is that why a lot of men don't want to approach women anymore? Is that the only reason why? Is because of the cases that they see, which, here's the thing, it's understandable. I just want to know if that's the reason why men aren't approaching women. They want women to pursue them. Hillary asked me, could it be that for your case, you're privileged by your beauty that you don't need to pursue? I think that no, I think that I think that most women that I know have gotten approached by the guys that they're with. I mean, I've seen. I don't think it's just me. I think it's a lot of women that get approached by men. Am I wrong? Am I like living in an alternative universe? Because I thought that most men, like I believe, they may not be approaching like in person, but they're approaching on social media. I feel like men are. Is that not happening? Lanaya, the emotional intelligence, long-term benefits of emotional intelligence. Even in this definition, it talks about this, and I'm going to just read it off here. But I definitely know it'll be longer lasting relationships, meaningful relationships. It says a high EQ helps you to build relationships, reduce team stress, diffuse conflict. This is in jobs, but reduces stress, improves communication skills, enhances social skills. It definitely it definitely is about improving your relationships and the dynamics within your home and outside, and obviously in your workplace as well, because they talk about that as well. Yeah, Antoine, I think that with people that, yes, I think that people that have emotional intelligence, they tend to overthink as well. But I also think people that lack emotional intelligence can overthink. But I think that people with emotional intelligence may put a lot of, because the first step of it, right, is identifying. The second thing is to have control over. And the last thing is to express oneself judiciously and empathetically. Now, if I overthink, that means that I could be taking so much responsibility for my part that I don't leave enough room um, for someone else's part. And I know I have a tendency to do that. I have a tendency to like take it all. And sometimes you have to really be open to understand that there's other people that are at fault too. But I am one that tries, like, I try to take it all on, and it's not all mine to hold, if that makes any sense. You don't think approaching on social media counts? If a relationship happened and it started off with that, it does count. That's what I think. So Jjot says this: imagine you're a good-looking woman on a dating site. Your job is going to be narrowing down potential candidates. However, on the other end, we don't think that you have many potential candidates. Is that a bad thing? I've always thought men wanted women that have a lot of options. That's what I've always thought. I didn't think that would turn somebody off. Like, oh, there are probably a lot of dudes that try and talk to her. I never thought that was a turn off. Is that something I'm learning today? Yeah, no dose hit. It says, yep, you've got to have control over yourself in order to be highly emotional intelligent. Again, overthinking, when it goes too far, overthinking is not exercising self-control, because we tend to ruminate. We could stay in that place. That's something I'm working on. I mean, I'm being honest with you. I can get emotional. I can react. I can overthink things, and I stay stuck there. That's not having control over oneself, or being able to say, okay, I'm not going to think these thoughts. These are not productive. I need to move forward. So I think that self-control in and of itself, or being able to have control over your emotions and how you react and how you respond, it's important. I think emotional, and here's the thing, you guys, I think someone could be emotionally intelligent, but that doesn't mean they're perfect. That doesn't mean they're 100% there. There's people that are more emotionally intelligent than others. But the point of this conversation is really just saying, this young woman in the very beginning was asking, hey, listen, do you think that women can actually handle an emotionally intelligent man? Can they actually handle the men that they're asking for? And what we've gotten from this conversation is no. Because a lot of us are not emotionally intelligent, men or female, male or female. And we cannot ask for things that we are not. We can't. And if we're not in a space where we can identify our emotions, second part is being able to, I don't know if it's express, but the second one isn't express. The second one is identify, have control over, and express your emotions judiciously and empathetically. If you do not have those three levels of being able to do that, then that's what it is. Then that's what it is. So I think that I think that we miss the mark a lot, y'all. And I get why, I understand why. But we can't then say we want something that we have not done the work to become. We can't say as women, I want this, that, and third, but I'm not that. I think that we should focus more on becoming instead of shaming others. That's part of the problem with today's society in general. There's a lot of shaming going on, a lot of blaming, a lot of shaming. We live in a very, YouTube is a messy space. It is what it is. We talked about it earlier. YouTube is a messy space. People just finding things to talk about. Hey, Sloan. Antoine says, it's a discipline that takes practice and simply paying attention to the other person and what they're feeling, understanding the unspoken cues they exhibit. 100%, Antoine. 100%. Men are no longer men, and women are also not. Food industry, economics, commercialization of products, money, and norms. Also, if we have or do not have God in our lives, I agree. Our world is going in a different direction. And I think it's taking us away from having what we say that we want. We say we want all these things, but the things that we engage in, the practices that we engage in, that takes us further away from purpose. That takes us further away. Y'all, in this life, we reap what we sow. The Bible says, in due season, if we do not faint, if we do not give up, whatever we sow in this earth, we will reap. For example, if I go on this live and I'm spreading gossip and I'm gossiping, I'm sowing a seed. I'm sowing a seed. And I'm going to reap that. I'm going to reap the seed that I sow. If I'm sowing seeds of hostility into my audience, if I'm sowing seeds of judgment and this, that, and the third into my audience, I'm going to reap that. I have to keep that in mind as I create content. there's a certain level of being mindful of the seeds that you're sowing. So even in dating, if I'm not sowing seeds of emotional intelligence in my life, I'm not going to reap that. If I want a person that's super in shape, but I'm not, I'm going to reap that. I have to put more energy in becoming than energy in other people being what I'm not. And then expecting them to stay and deal with me. Yeah, Cain, the story of Cain and Abel, absolutely. A covetous spirit is definitely part of all of us. Can we prove that? Absolutely, we can prove that. You can see the lives of the people that have done it. Just look at their lives, J. Dot. Just look at their lives. In a long longitudinal study, if you look at somebody's life, that's what seeds that they had sown in their career early on, where are they now? I'm not one who names names. That's just not my platform. I'm not going to bring out somebody's name. I always have told you guys, I come at behavior. I don't come at people or gossip. We're coming at behavior. But at the end of the day, you reap what you sow in this life. You do. You definitely do. Lyrica said she was waiting for it, Sloan. I was too. Okay, Sloan, what you gonna say? Look, let me make this simple for men. The only and best way to have a happy woman, faithful, ready for you, doesn't cheat, follows, is for you, my brother, to be her best perceived option. Wow. Or at least top 3. Otherwise, it's a crapshoot and you're gonna have problems. You know what, Sloan? I actually agree with that one. I 100% agree with that. He's all facts, no breaks, Sloan. All facts, no breaks. I agree with that. Now, how do they become their best perceived option, Sloan? Can you tell the people that? Because I think right now, all facts, no breaks. All facts, no breaks, baby. Sloan got multiple women, J. Dot. You got it. I don't know if you know Sloan. Sloan, they trying you. He trying to try you, saying you single. He ain't single. Sloan out here in these sidewalks. Somebody said something about overseas stuff. You know what? Why are men going overseas and all this stuff? And here's what I have to say. Thank you, AM. Thank you, AM, for the super sticker. I appreciate you. But here's my thing. And I completely lost my thought. Overseas. Okay, I got it. A lot of men are going overseas, and I think a lot of that is because the cultures are different, and so women are not like they are becoming westernized. I mean, rapidly they're becoming westernized, but I think that there's a sense of, I don't know, order maybe with women. I think in the United States, it seems like women are more, wanting to be more independent, wanting to be on the, not really valuing a man, or the perception is that they don't value men or relationships with men. And in other cultures, the man's place is still being respected. And so I think a lot of men go to other countries looking for that. But what I will say is that, when we're talking about women that end up coming to this culture or have seen our culture, they have social media. A lot of times they know how to play American men too. I know people from other cultures. I know people that come from other countries. They know how to play these American men as well. So I think that there are women that obviously genuinely a certain way, you know, and that's not to take anything from it. But I think that they've made the answer, we're just going to outsource women. But you know, at some point, you know, that's not really going to help you too much. You know, this is not, because they're learning the tricks of the trade too. You know, these women overseas are not dumb. You know, some of them are. Some of them, I'm not saying dumb, but they're naive. They don't know what's going on. They don't know what's happening in America. They don't have that. They're not modernized in that way. But there's other women that a lot of them are. Sloan said his girl is in her 20s. He's 61, and she don't want nobody else, and that's real talk. And that's real talk, Usher. All right, y'all. So anyway, we're not gonna get into this. Okay, so Lyrica says this about the overseas culture. She said number one is cultural. They serve their partner. Number two, which is a big part of number one, the good ones though. Yeah, absolutely. It's cultural. I think a lot of it's cultural, and the culture of wherever they're going maybe, you know, is different, you know. So anyway, that is where we are right now, family. We're gonna go ahead and stop the show because I could tell my computer about to let you guys go. So I will be going live tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're gonna do another show 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we're talking about 3 questions you've got to ask somebody before you date them. So 3 questions we should be asking people before we date them. We're gonna talk about that tomorrow, okay? So go ahead, be watching. I'm actually going to schedule a live after this. But 3 questions you should ask somebody before we date. All right. So anyway, I love you guys. Thank you guys for being so dope and amazing and so supportive. And I will see you guys again tomorrow afternoon. All right. Hit the like button, y'all. It's free. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.